Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the second time I've recorded this. There's no chance that I might be more succinct trying to repeat myself. It just means that at some point the sun is going to be directly in my face because it's now the afternoon as opposed to the morning. So, okay, you'll have seen by the title that there is the Top Trumps TBR and an announcement. Now, I thought it was probably about time that I had a nice, neat Discord where I could have all of my YouTube-y type things, Twitter, my Instagram, reading trackers, reading spreads, all of that stuff. All of the stuff that I am doing all of the time anyway, but just in one place. So there is now a Lad@M bookish Discord. Now this is a precursor to any potential Patreon that I have in the future, because I'm very lucky that whilst I don't have the biggest following, the following that I do have engages beautifully with the stuff that I make, and it is real quality engagement, and I just love it because you're all just so fucking lovely that I want a place where we can all kind of like hang and chat and talk bookish stuff, and also so I don't feel like I'm just constantly dropping all of my content on other people's Discords and spamming people with that stuff. So it's all going to be in just one nice, neat place. And it also means that if there are any discount codes for Waypoint, which there absolutely are, all the book clubs that I'm going to run through the books of today will be on there, my TBR will be on there, and it's somewhere that you can also share all of those things and we can just kind of hang out together. So if you're interested in any of what I've just described, please click that Discord link. It would be lovely to have you. Now, as I said, there will be book clubs mentioned because along with the Lamentable Library, which is hosted by Kelly over at the Velvet Library, I have started / joined 2 more book clubs, and I still have a read along to host. So all information for that will also be in that Discord, but obviously if there are separate Discords. So before I get onto my Top Trumps TBR, I'm just going to run through my book club picks. So obviously, as far as read-alongs go, I'm only doing one read-along in June, and that is still the Dead Famous read-along. We're nearly halfway, and the books are getting really chunky. I picked this specifically because I was like, Hannah, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't pick a book series that's really, really long, but also massive. I thought it'd be a middle grade, therefore it'd be fine, but we're edging into YA territory and the books are getting chunkier. But essentially the Skullduggery Pleasant series is about a young girl called Valkyrie who has basically superpowers, and she works with an undead detective to solve magical crimes. It's a real hoot, but they are getting kind of wild and kind of dark in places, which I not so secretly absolutely love. So that we're reading Mortal Coil, which is book 5 for June. And I think there might also be some of the novellas as well that you can read. We're not reading those officially for the read-along, we're just going to stick with Mortal Coil because who has the time? Yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. I don't know anything about it except that it's got body snatching in this one. So that's fun. Lamentable Library, Kelly's pick for June was Girl in the Walls. This has literally someone living in your walls / ghosty vibes. I believe the main characters are going to be really unreliable because they are children. It's going to be spooky, it's going to be gothic, and we are also going to be hosting a giveaway because I have a signed copy to give away. So keep an eye out in the Lamentable Library Discord because info for that will be there. But yes, very excited for this one. It's a brand new release. It's chunky, but I'm excited. So that's the next one. And then, as I said, new book clubs. Now there are 2 that I want to discuss. They are both brilliant and I'm so excited for both of them. The first one is the Hullabaloo book club. Now Hullabaloo book club is going to be slightly different in that each month one of the hosts, which is Ali, Emma, Molly or myself, is going to create a bookish task for the hosts to complete, and then you guys are going to vote on which response to the bookish task is the best, and the winner is then going to go away and pick the monthly read. I won the first one for June, which was to create a haiku out of your spines, and I have picked Mina and the Undead. And what's really exciting is, along with Girl in the Walls, we are also going to be doing a Mina and the Undead giveaway. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. There is a Twitter and an Instagram. Information for those will be shared on the Discord and the Twitter and Instagram, so keep an eye out for this one. This is a YA about a young girl who is obsessed with horror movies, but when her sister goes missing she kind of falls into a horror movie for real. So it has real kind of like gothic horror vibes. Amy McCord is lovely. She has donated the stuff for the giveaway, so we're really excited for that. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one. When you win, you get to pick the book, but you also get to pick the task for the following month. The task that I have set my co-hosts is to recreate a front cover of their choice using only what they can find in their cupboards. So we will be sharing that mid-month, what our responses to that are. And I would love to see your submissions if you want to try recreating any of your front covers using what you've got in the cupboards. I'd love to see that. So let's see who picks next month, but for now it's Minion the Undead and I'm very excited. And then the other book club is Bevys and Book Club, which is going to be hosted over on my friend Danny's channel. She's going to be hosting the first live stream, and basically the premise of this one is, rather than everyone reading the same book, we're going to be given a prompt based on a cocktail, because we do love a drink, based on a cocktail, and then we are going to review different books together. So we're given a prompt, we pick a book, but it's different from everyone else. So the idea being that when you watch those live streams, you're actually going to walk away with more options to read, as opposed to having already read the book together. The first prompt, which is for the month of June, is pina colada, a tropical drink, which means a tropical prompt. You have to pick a book with either a tropical setting or a tropical front cover. I'm going to stop saying the word tropical now and tell you that I am reading What Would Boudica Do, because it has, as you can see, we've got tropical plant life. This is a non-fiction self-help book, borderline YA to adult, but the life advice is given to you via women of historical importance. So it just sounds really fun. It's a Faber and Faber, so, but yeah, no, I'm really excited for this one. It should be a laugh. So yeah, so those are those. Those are those. What a great way to finish a sentence. So those are my book club, and these are ones that I have to read. Absolutely have to read. Now I'm saying that because the last few months I've set myself quite long TBRs because I need to be reading 25 books a month. Don't know if I've mentioned that to you before, but I need to be reading 25 books a month. And I keep setting these really long TBRs and then just not reading them. Just actively avoiding the books on my TBR, because turns out I love a list, but I'm also a massive mood reader. So all we're going to have as a TBR for this month is book club books and TBR books, and everything else I'm just going to mood read my way through. Might even vlog a little bit, but no promises. So we're going to move on to the Top Trumps TBR cards bit. I did the smart thing of grabbing all of the cards and not just the handful, because I kept grabbing like the first like handful of them because I don't need many, but I have made way too many. But it meant that I was picking the same books every single time and not wanting to read them. So there's so much cat hair just in my life. So yeah, so essentially I'm going to give them a shuffle. These are books that I either want to read, they're new releases, books that people have recommended to me, or books that I just haven't got to yet, and the idea is to prompt me into reading them. So again, if you jump on the Discord, I will be sharing the TBR cards that I've already made, but I'll make digital ones so that you can get involved if you also want to play. But also, if you want to recommend me books to go into the TBR cards, you can do that there as well. So the first card is always really straightforward. It is the year. So I go for the book that is the most recent year. I don't know about you, but I have a really bad habit of leaning into the books that I read as a kid. I need to be reading more new releases. So the newest year. Yeah, simple. If it gets 2021, it's gonna be that one. So the first one is Malice, which is 2021, which makes this really straightforward. I don't need to pick out another card. This is the most recent year. 2021 is the most recent year. So the first book I'll be reading is Malice. The next one is author, so I just shuffle through until it's an author I haven't read before. I am smart in that I colour coordinate my authors, so I just have to find one that doesn't have that pink stripe on it. So the first one is Holly Race, which is Midnight Twins, a author I haven't read before. Midnight Twins it is. Next is page numbers, so I like to challenge myself and read the book with the most number of pages in the two cards. So the first card is A Secret of Bird and Bones, which is 336, and the second card is A Burning, which is 304. So it'll be A Secret of Birds and Bones, which I'm really excited for, because this is another Kira Millward Hargrave, and I read The Deathless Girls and then immediately bought everything else that Kira Millward Hargraves has ever written because I loved it so much. So really excited for that one. Next is Goodreads rating. Now I appreciate that Goodreads ratings change all the time, so this is just when I made the cards, that was the rating they were currently at, so it may have gone up or down since then. The first card is Pandora's Jar, which is 4.42, and the second card is One by One, which is 3.73. So I will be reading Pandora's Jar, another one that I'm really, really excited about. Love that for me. And then the final one is cover art. It's completely subjective. I just gave a rating to the cover art. I have very specific tastes when it comes to cover art, so if you feel like I've been unjust, tough, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, so the first card is The Near Witch, which is 2.5. I'm almost 100% sure this is the lowest rating I gave any of the front covers, so I don't think it's going to be this one. And then the other one is Duckett and Dyer Dicks for Hire, which is 5.5. Now, because only 2 of those cards are books that I own, I don't have to pick a wild card, which is an additional card where I just pick a book that I own. I'm just going to stick with those initial 5, but I'm going to go and grab those books and then I will tell you all about them. Okay, so I know absolutely nothing about A Secret of Birds and Bones other than it's a Kieran Mulwood Hargrave. I believe it's a middle grade, but don't hold me to that. It's Chicken House, which is what made me think that. But I'm really, really excited. I really enjoy her style of writing, and I'm just going to leave that one there. I'm going into that one basically blind. I'm also kind of going into the Midnight Twins, the Midnight Twins blind. I think is a kind of, they live in another world of magic kind of thing, and it interrupts the human world. I know that it's 2 siblings that are against each other, and I know that it's hotkeys. But I've not heard anyone talking about this, so it could be trash, because the last one that I picked up, purely because no one had heard of it, it's because it was really bad. So wish me luck with that one. Duckett and Dyer Dicks for Hire is a book that I bought back in November of 2019, which is really embarrassing. But essentially this is about 2 detectives kind of get mixed up in some stuff. I think there might also be some sci-fi horror shenanigans going on with this one as well, but I'm really, really intrigued, and I'm really looking forward to reading some more independent authors. So there's that one. Malice is obviously, like I said, my newest one. This was released like a month ago. People have been reading the arcs and really, really enjoying it. It's a Sleeping Beauty retelling, which is nice because I haven't read a Sleeping Beauty retelling in a long time, but I believe it looks at Maleficent as a love interest rather than a full villain. I mean, she's a villain in it still, but like as a love interest, so you know, we've got that LGBTQ vibes, which we love. So really, really looking forward to this one, but it is massive, so wish me luck. And also it's a retelling, and you know what I'm like with retellings. Either I'm going to absolutely love this, or... And then the last one is Pandora's Jar, which I am really, really excited about. This is a non-fiction. Natalie Haynes is known for doing kind of journalistic style writing, but she's looking at the women in Greek myths, which I'm really excited for because I loved Nikita Gill's Great Goddesses, which again looked at the women of mythology but in a poetic setting, whereas this is going to be in a non-fiction, but a creative non-fiction type one. So I don't know if it's going to feel like it is still a narrative or whether it's just going to go through the women of the history, but either way I'm very, very excited for it. So yes, and I also have 1,000 Ships as another TBR card as well, so once I finish this I'll be able to update that TBR card as a read author, so that's exciting. So yeah, that is my TBR. And it's not the TBR that I recorded this morning. None of these books were on the one that I recorded this morning. I didn't want to risk trying to fake my way through pulling out the cards because they can be so sporadic that it just wasn't worth it. But yeah, as a little pile, that's quite cute. And then we add my book club reads. Lose a feeling in my wrist. And it's not a bad stack, to be honest. There's a nice variety of middle grades, YA, non-fiction, hard gothic fiction, a real mix, which is what we like to see. So let me know if any of these books are on your TBR, and if there are any books that you would recommend to me based on these books. We love that. And don't forget to jump on that Discord, because that is where I will be hanging out basically the moment this video goes up, just making sure that I haven't put the cart before the horse, as it were. Yeah, I'm sorry too. I'll see you next time and have a nice day.